Dun-dun. Hey girls, I'm Dave. This is the Best Dual Spark Bikes channel. One more time, we need to have a little discussion about all the KTM trail bikes from 2017 to 25 have a two-stroke reed cage in the intake tract. I'm always kind of amazed that people still don't know that. Even researching the bike, they don't maybe seem to find that, and the dealers obviously don't tell them. So if this has caught you by surprise, or if you just found out about it, it's really important to know, I think it's important to know, one, why they're there. It helps explain things, how it works with the plugged up exhaust system, how it works with lean fueling. What's the purpose of this whole thing in the first place? Why is it the only bike on the planet that has it? You also need to understand what the ramifications are of taking them out, why it's really important to take them out, and why you're really stupid if you don't take them out. So let's get going. The video after this will be about the reeds in the intake tract versus an open intake tract, just leaving the boot stock, versus the European intake boot, which we now have, versus this tube that we make that slides in there to make the stock thing better. You have all kinds of ways to go. Now, first and foremost though, please let's understand this thing. Okay, the more you understand why you're in this situation, why they did what they did, maybe that'll help you make a better decision. So in 2017, the bikes had to change again. Restrictions got tougher, and to pass the drive-by sound test from the EPA, they had to do something to slow down intake noise. Basically, when the motorcycle drove by you, somebody's standing there and it has to go by you at various speeds, a certain distance away, the noise was just too high. So Yamaha used to do it with a limiting throttle screw. You could only open the throttle halfway. So you'd buy something like a WR, get it home, you'd call the dealership, I think something's wrong with this. They go, no. To sell it to you, to pass drive-by sound test, we had to put a throttle stop, a limiting screw in it so it only went to have throttle. And they go, wow, I would have known that. And then they had to go about fixing it, all right? And the dealer couldn't do it and sell it that way. So KTM took the route of, well, if we just jam up the intake, we'll control intake noise. We'll lower the amount of air that gets into it quite a bit. At that point, the amount of exhaust that comes out of it, even though we already have these extremely small little perforated holes in it, and this part of it's jammed up as well, you're limiting the intake air. We can limit the fuel. We can limit the amount of power. That'll even dull down the sound more. Well, it worked. And people could give it full gas and so forth, right? They'd go out and they'd ride it and they think, well, this is it. But it feels choked up. Well, it was. And they are. But anyhow, you understand now that's why they had to do what they had to do to sell the thing, and that's what you get. So we have a few problems with this. The way that they've chosen to plug this up is with this part of the reed cage out of a two-stroke motorcycle. Well, these reeds here that are opening, they have a tendency to break off quite a bit in two-stroke motorcycles. The tips of these things will break off. It's carbon fiber material. It's not that big of a deal in a two-stroke. It basically just spits out the exhaust port. The bike runs like crap, but it doesn't do any damage. On your four-stroke, however, if one of these things breaks off and sticks in between, let's say your intake valve and the valve seat, exhaust valve seat, whatever on top end, you've just bent a valve. You've just junked your motor. You're not getting home. Of course, it's going to stall, not start. You could be 200 miles out, 100 miles out. You're stranded. And you probably got yourself a $6,000 paperweight because it's most likely out of warranty. So anybody that would tell you to leave these reeds in is not your friend. Just keep that in mind. And you can go, hey, look, will you give me the $6,000? Then when it blows up, if I leave them in based on what you think I should do, they're going to go, well, no, right? Well, then why wouldn't I take them out? So now you know why it's very important to get them out. Also, they do really restrict the intake air. So when you get these out, you're getting 25 to 30% more air in there, which now allows you to make a ton more power. And people go, you know, how do you take a bike and, you know, get another 10 to 15 horsepower out of it for a scant $600, under $600 with like our power bundle? Well, it's easy because they're so plugged up. All you have to do is get air in, get air out, and add the right amount of fuel and ignition time into it. It doesn't take much, folks, to radically change these bikes. That's the beauty of the power bundle. Now, the other thing that's going on with the power bundle is you can't just do one of these three things. If you get the reeds out, now you're allowing a ton more air into it that's going to run noticeably leaner. So you would need to adjust the fuel to compensate for that. At that point, you would want to change your exhaust as well because, you know, with this really restrictive end cap, now you're going to have more pressure in there and it's not getting out, so the bike's even running hotter. And the pressure doesn't get out, and you're tooling around and you give it the gas, and the pressure, poop, it can't get out, and the bike pop stalls and it stalls. And you get frustrated, you know, at the weirdest times. So then you're going to want to open up the exhaust to get that free flowing. Well, now the thing is so lean it'll hardly even run, or it's in a danger zone when it does. Well, now you need to add the fuel to it. So you're kind of understanding now why it really is a three-step process. And the thing is, you don't just want to leave it stock. You know, if you leave it stock, you don't need to change anything, but you're always running the risk, like a light-duty tube in racing Baja or going through a field of nails. Do you really want to take that chance? Right? Do you really want to take a chance of this thing breaking off, leaving you out there in the middle of the night, not being able to get your motorcycle back depending on where you're at, $6,000 worth of damage? Do you really want to take that chance? The answer is most likely no. So now you get it. Now that you get it, why these things need to be changed, let's talk about, we're going to go into the next video now. This was like a precursor kind of thing. We're going to go into the next video now of the different ways to change it things that we offer, things you could do on your own, and what you would also need to do with it, which I just told you. Okay, well, now you get the gist. Appreciate you watching. It's 17 to 25 bikes, all the trail bikes, the ones with the headlights. Now let's go into this next video to show you your options. Thanks for watching.